You, my man.
Good to see you, Barry.
It's a little cold out there. It's a little warmer in the studio. Hey, we've heard, I think, for a number of years about, it used to be called ADD, but ADHD.
Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder.
Okay, and
that's the new word.
Yeah, and a lot of kids struggle with that. Even older people struggle with that. But is it more common than it used to be, or was it just undiagnosed back then?
Well, in 1903, Dr. Edmund Still in London described it, and so it's the same description today.
Yeah.
It's just undiagnosed for all these years.
Yeah.
About 5% of our kids will have it. So in any classroom, we're going to have 1 or 2 kids that have ADHD.
Isn't that something? Well, I know there are a lot of treatments. We do have callers on the line, though.
Great,
I know
let's take
this
them.
is a great concern to a lot of moms out there and dads. Leslie from Bearden, you are up first. Go ahead, Leslie. Leslie, are you with us this morning?
My question is, I have a little boy that turned 8 today, and he is a dedicated climber, and I don't care what punishment we give him, he's still climbing. How do you stop it?
Well, what's he climbing on?
See, I don't know if Leslie's still with us. I don't know if I guess that may not be too uncommon for an 8-year-old boy.
And he is ADHD severely. And
I see.
Oh, okay.
So you're having trouble controlling his impulses. Well, impulses are a big part of ADHD. It's hard for us to control what we want to do. So if I want to blow a spitwire across the room and hit the teacher, I may have a hard time controlling that. That's all frontal lobe activity there. I'm going to control things. I'm going to think through it. So if you ask a child, why did you do that? And they may say, I don't know. And they really don't, because the frontal lobe controls those things. They have to actually process what they're doing, process the consequences of that. So if I like to climb and my mom says, do not climb, do not climb, do not climb, the problem is with ADHD, I get one thought in my mind, I want to climb, and then the part of my brain that controls that is then silent.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden I just climb. So you have to get your expectations right with ADHD. There's going to be problems with impulse control. And so you kind of give them a little more space. Of course, there are medications that kids need with ADHD, and they help control some of that impulsivity that you're talking about. So realistic expectations, a child with ADHD is going to have impulse control, and secondly, make sure they're treated well.
Okay, very good. Leslie, I hope that helps you out there. Helen from Russellville is up next. Helen, good morning to you.
Good morning. My question has to do with the medication. I'm wondering if it has a tendency to kind of stunt a child's growth. I sort of feel like I see that in a child that I'm very much concerned about. Would there be that possibility, or is that maybe not having an effect?
Okay.
Well, of course, in 1937, Bradley and co-workers first gave amphetamines to kids with ADHD. So amphetamines have been used for 70-something years now. They're very safe. Do they stunt your growth? The answer to that is no in the long term. In the short term, the answer is yes. And so amphetamines are some of the best diet pills in the world. So I'm a little overweight, so if I took an amphetamine, I would lose a lot of weight pretty quickly, because it's an appetite suppressant. But kids with ADHD, they'll typically lose about 4 pounds over the first 6 to 9 months they take it, and then they begin to grow again, and by the time they're on the medicine for about a year, then they're back right where they would have been otherwise.
They catch up.
Well, they get used to it somehow. And so also they develop strategies of eating at other times when the medicine's working. Most ADHD medicines work about 8 to 12 hours, and so you want to take breakfast in the morning before you take your pill. Lunch is gone. They're not going to be interested in lunch because the medicine is working. It basically tricks their mind. They're really hungry, and yet their brain says, I'm not. Then about 6 to 8 o'clock at night, the medicines are gone. Eat a big supper then, and then you need to have a snack at 9 o'clock. So kids with ADHD actually over time learn how to go around that. They eat in the morning and they eat at night, and pretty much in the day it's just kind of gone.
Very good. Hey, I think it's a great question. Helen, thanks. Susan, you are up, our third caller from Bryant. Good morning to you.
Good morning. My question is, I have a granddaughter that's 10 years old. She is on Concerta, and it seems like when she's on the medication, she has a tendency to talk to make-believe friends. Is that a side effect, or it seems to be worse when she's on the medicine than when she's off of it?
Okay.
Well, really, in terms of hallucinations, it's not a hallucinogenic drug at all. And so kids have imaginary friends that they talk to all the time. And so that's completely normal. So I'm not really worried about that.
Okay, you don't think that would be a correlation there,
Not
too?
a correlation.
I tell you, this is fascinating, the process, but there are great treatments for it as well. And,
Right.
And if you'd like to get in touch with any of the pediatricians there at All for Kids Pediatric Clinic, is on Autumn Road out in West Little Rock at 224-5437. And we just want to thank St. Vincent for making available these doctors for us on Friday. Of course, St. Vincent, a great medical system here in the Little Rock area. Dr. Byrum, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much. Enjoy
Very
it.
educational. I know it helped a lot of folks.
Great.